Let's talk about the Philippines. Its military chief just made a startling comment. He said if China invaded Taiwan, then the Philippines would be at war. Had to make sense, right? No. When you look at it closely, it starts to make sense and raises some very pertinent questions. Is the Philippines being forced to fight a foreign war? Is China infiltrating the Filipino military? And why is Rodrigo Duterte being blamed for it? I'm Ananya Dutta, and this is Grey Zone. Beijing sends warplanes and navy vessels towards Taiwan on a daily basis. But lately, the nature of those incursions has changed. Beijing's war games are dependent on Taipei's political games. In May last year, Taiwanese President William Lai Ching-te's inauguration prompted one of the largest drills seen around the island. Then in December, the president's visit to Pacific Island states saw an impromptu military exercise by China. Basically, China considers Taiwan a part of its territory, to be brought under its control by force if necessary. And these drills are just a direct message to Taipei. This week began with another such drill involving the Navy, the Air Force as well as the Army. The latest round of military exercises come after Lai called Beijing a quote-unquote foreign hostile force and laid out a 17-point plan to curtail its influence. China's Taiwan Affairs Office says that the exercises are directed at Lai, who has been calling for the island's autonomy. It's touch and go every single time. China shows off its latest arsenal and surrounds Taiwan with a war tactic from the Roman times. Then Taipei is left wondering, is it an intimidation or an invasion? So what is the Philippines doing in all of this? Well, the southernmost point of Taiwan and the northernmost tip of the Philippines are just 100 kilometers apart. So proximity is one aspect. And in the middle of this is the Bashi Channel. Manila considers it to be part of its territorial sea. However, there are other claims. While Washington and Manila had their 1951 Mutual Defense Treaty, which required either party to come to the other's aid in case of any attack, experts say that the MDT only applies when a member of the treaty is attacked. And Taiwan is not a member of the MDT. So neither the US nor the Philippines can invoke the MDT in case China invades Taiwan. Another reason is politics. The military chief has said it himself, and I'm quoting, "If something happens to Taiwan, inevitably we will be invoked. There are 250,000 Filipino overseas workers in Taiwan, and we will have to rescue them. As members of the armed forces of the Philippines, we should have that mentality that we are already at war." The Philippines has had a bittersweet relationship with China because ties are directly proportional to who's in power in Manila. In recent weeks, Manila has made a series of arrests of Chinese suspects accused of conducting surveillance on military camps and Coast Guard ships. But this wasn't the case earlier. From 2016 to 2022, under Rodrigo Duterte, the country took a China-friendly approach and declared a quote-unquote separation from the US. So Chinese investment surged, encroachments in the South China Sea did not make it to national headlines, and Duterte himself visited Beijing 5 times in this short span. The policy took a 180-degree turn under Ferdinand Marcos Jr. He immediately reaffirmed alliance with the US. Washington was granted 4 new military base access points. His administration either reviewed or suspended all Chinese loan projects. So now, when the military chief is complaining about China already infiltrating institutions, schools, businesses, churches, even ranks in the military, you understand the whole picture. Right now, Manila is only concerned about its Filipino workers who could come in the line of fire if China invades Taiwan. While it might be right in its own place, Manila has to think ahead. As soon as China ends its war games around Taiwan, the Philippines is set to start its joint naval exercises with the US this month. So Manila is clearly picking a side. More like this administration in Manila is picking a side. And for the first time, the US military is set to deploy the Nemesis, its anti-ship missile system. Along with the shipment, an undisclosed number of unmanned surface vehicles will also reach the Philippines. And this places the Taiwan Strait and part of China's coastline within its range. So expectedly, China is looking at it with a frown. The Philippines is sitting on a political seesaw with the world's two superpowers on either end. And this couldn't have come at a worse time. Marcos Jr. faces protests at home and Duterte sits behind bars at the ICC, waiting for his fate to be sealed in a foreign country. All while war games escalate in the South China Sea. So is the Philippines being forced into a conflict, or did it ask for it?
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that we will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest news makers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the US will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry guards.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Deep dive into burning issues.
It's often said DRC could be the richest country in the whole world. It's because of what sits underneath.
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HT videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.